very good afternoon to one and all present here and those attending online. I, Tanushri, on behalf of CMR University, School of Legal Studies, welcome all of you to today's session of our Faculty Development Program 2024. The speaker for today's session, Professor Dr. R. Venkata Rao, needs no introduction. Sir is an eminent scholar and a distinguished academician. I'm honored to introduce Professor Dr. R. Venkata Rao, currently the Vice Chancellor of India International University of Legal Education and Research. Sir has previously served as the Vice Chancellor of the National Law School of India University, Bangalore, from May 2009 to August 2019, a premier center for legal education. Sir holds BA Honours Literature, MA Literature, ML, PhD, and LLD Honoris Causa degrees. His illustrious career includes receiving the Professor N.R. Madhava Menon Best Law Teacher Award 2018 and the Attorney General K. Parasaran Award 2019. With 45 years of teaching and research experience, he has been a key figure in numerous statutory bodies and prestigious public sector undertakings. Sir has authored over 6 books, published over 130 papers, and guided several LLDs and PhD scholars. He has been awarded multiple accolades, including the Best Vice Chancellor Award 2014 and the Amity Excellence Award 2017 and 2019. He has visited over 30 countries for academic and research activities and was chairman of the Board of Governors of the Asia Law Institute 2010 to 2011. Please join me in welcoming Professor Dr. R. Venkata Rao.
This is a judicious juxtaposition of online and offline. Means, I have to restrict myself to the podium and address so that I can be captured online. So, I don't have the freedom to move. Okay, no problem. That is better. Okay. I'm reminded of Rousseau's statement when I'm asked to confine myself here. 14th July, as I told you, is Bastille Day, French Revolution. And you must also remember, Rousseau said, man is born free, but everywhere he's in chains. But if the same Rousseau were to come today, he would say, man is born free, but he's everywhere in digital chains. You agree with me? So you are not between digital chains, the problem, that's it, okay? I was telling Professor Subramania, let's go and be in the company of colleagues and students, because the best place for a teacher is to be in the midst of students of law, both students and the faculty. Yeah. And whenever I'm asked to speak in faculty development program, my mind goes back to late 70s and early 80s when I was working in JNU library for my research. That was an afternoon when Sitaram Yechuri was the president of Jawaharlal Nehru. Subramania had other memories of it. Okay. A teacher who got an award which was equivalent to Nobel Prize. You know, Nobel Prize is not there in all subjects. And a history professor got an award which was equivalent to Nobel Prize from one of the Central European states. And that teacher was being felicitated at the afternoon in jail, a small conference hall. So I sneaked into the hall to see what is happening. The moment I entered the hall, I saw a big banner. The upper half was visible to us, the lower half they have deliberately covered it. And that portion which was visible to us had the inscription, "We don't want to learn teachers." This was the inscription on a banner displayed at a program where a teacher was being felicitated for receiving the highest award. I was very young, but I knew JNU people always have a trick up their sleeve. So I was curbing my curiosity and waiting for all the ritualistic items to be completed. One after another, items were being completed. Then the item for felicitation of the teacher came. Teacher was asked to take a seat. And then the lower half of the banner was also removed. Till then, it was only absorption. That half was visible to the naked eye, but less important than the half which was visible. That's what you mean by Arthasakya, remember? Half to, okay. The entire banner line, we don't want learning teachers. What we want is learning teachers. And our history teacher is the best example of learning teacher. Oh, I was Manchester, and that became a permanent part of my life. 2 years subsequent to that, we invited Justice Krishna here to Andhra University to give his views on a judgment which was delivered by him. Bangalore Waterworks case industry. And the first sentence I still remember. Everyone makes a reference to teachers and judges as learned judge, learned teachers. My caution is don't take it as a compliment. It's not a compliment. When somebody refers to you as learned, it means you have become a thing of the past. You have become fossilized. You have become anachronistic. The sooner you quit, the better it will be. Because judges and teachers influence eternity. They never retire, they rarely die. So there must be always learning. So faculty development program enables you to keep the touch of learning aglow. That's the reason why I always jump at the opportunity to participate in faculty development programs, because geniuses are never created in isolation. It is only through synergy and symbiosis. And I learned something from you, you learned something from me. Okay. And we do certain things to make surroundings around us a better place. Therefore, the 3 essential qualities a teacher should have. They are: teachers should be lifelong learners, frontline researchers, and eternal problem solvers. Teachers should be lifelong learners, frontline researchers, and eternal problem solvers. I was participating in a seminar that was organized by National Human Rights Commission when Justice Rajendra Babu was the chairperson of the National Human Rights Commission. The theme was corruption and human rights. And one particular session was devoted to corruption in academic work and human rights. A wonderful session said, the greatest violation of human rights of a student takes place when a teacher stops learning. The greatest violation of human rights for a teacher, student, takes place when a teacher stops learning. You must remember always, a teacher would be able to command the respect of a student only when the student realizes that you are also a student. The moment a student realizes that you are trying to back on your past, that you have become complacent, student will not have any respect for you. And remember, an ideal teacher is one who has maximum authority but minimal power. I think you have understood the meaning of it. An ideal teacher is one who has maximum authority and minimal power. Not only an ideal teacher, any public servant needs to have maximum authority and minimal power. But you find the equation to be otherwise. You have maximum power, and teaching is one profession where before you ask students to cultivate the rule of law and the way of life, you must be a role model. Great thing. And when I said, I think I always say, why do you define a person standing outside? They also have a right to be heard. They also like to check it. And therefore, you should have maximum authority but minimal power. That would happen. I was telling the students, if you follow one dictum in life, what is the dictum? You must always prefer power of love to love of power. Power of love to love of power. What is that I expect when I say teacher as a role model? One of the most difficult things about teaching profession is he must be a role model for all the 24 hours. A teacher cannot be a role model just in the classroom. As Vice Chancellor, the director of IIM coaching code, and the prolific author of many books on management, Vice Chancellor says, a teacher should remember that he cannot be an Alexander at work and chimpanzee at home. These are very useless. He cannot be an Alexander at work and chimpanzee at home. Because for a student, teacher represents omniscience and omnipresence. You must be having school-going kids, some of you. And when the kid comes back from the school, if you try to contradict her teacher, she will immediately say, my teacher said you keep quiet. Mother, you don't do anything, my teacher knows everything. Okay, that's what Oliver Goldsmith also in his more beautiful poem, The Village Schoolmaster, says, the villagers always wonder as to how this little head has carried so many things. Okay. And therefore, for the girl, the teacher is omnipresent. For a student in the classroom also, teacher is omnipresent. Therefore, if you are like an Alexander in the classroom, stickler to values, okay, discipline. But the students find you behaving tangentially on Yashwadpura railway station platform when you are waiting for a train. The students think that this is the model we have to follow. See, that you are treating others in a subhuman way, in an inhuman way. You are unwittingly sending a signal to the student that this should be your behavior pattern. And that's what I mean when I say teacher's job should have the 25th hour in the day, not 24 hours. Every job has 24 hours. No? It's not, see, like a mother's job. Mother always finds that 25th hour to take care of the children. You agree with me? And that's a year, there is no substitute for mother. Okay. And the teacher should find that 25th hour. And just as for a mother, no child is a problem, but every child has a problem. For a mother, no child is a problem, but every child has a problem. For a teacher, no student should be a problem, but every student has a problem. Have you understood that? Every student has a problem. And you must find that extra minute to reach out to the students, especially in this 21st century, when you are dealing with I generation people, smart generation people who are born after 1990 and before 2015. They are born into the world of smartphones. They are born into the world of Internet of Things. And in the name of connectivity, they are the most disconnected people. In the name of connectivity, they are the most disconnected people. A wonderful survey that was carried out by World Bank, thanks to the initiative taken by United Nations Secretary General, in the year 2018, found out that most of the youngsters feel alienated and they find that there is no meaning in life, lack of meaning in life, because they are totally disconnected. they feel they are not cared for. I'm very grateful to Bengaluru for learning, making me learn a fundamental truth. When I was just 19 years, a college going student, okay. By 19th year, I already entered into post graduation because at my time, there was no age restriction. Okay. And I came to Bangalore to participate in All India debate competition. I got the first place. All India Inter-University Cooperative Debate Competition. I still remember. Therefore, my friends wanted me to celebrate. There were no television sets in those days. So the only celebration was going to a movie. I said, okay, we'll go to a movie. And at that time, you had Kapali Theatre in Bangalore. People say it was the first cinema theatre in the country. Very sophisticated. Wherever you sit, you have same. We came from boxing towns. We always, when we used to go to film, we used to say, give us the center seat. So when we, the counter, when we asked the center seat, he said, sir, you can sit anywhere. I'll give you the carpet seat, you will enjoy it. So we entered the theatre. And for youngsters, more than the main films, commercials, slides that will be shown will be very important. It was a new theatre. New slides were being shown. No smoking. Don't put your legs on the front seat. Okay. And then came a slide. Normally they say, check your belongings before you leave the order. And in some film theaters, sometimes some letters will be missing. But it was a brand new slide which said, check your longings before you leave the order. Check your longings before you leave the auditorium. I thought that it was a spelling mistake. I was 19, too young to understand what life was there. But having gone through different brackets of expectations in different stages of life, from 19 to 70 today, please go plus 10. I now understand that human beings care more for longings than belongings. You agree with me? Human beings care more for longings than belongings. That emotional attachment, that emotional comfort. That's what they want. And in 2018, when the report was submitted, they said this is exactly absent in 21st century classrooms in universities and institutions. Teachers must try to go beyond the working hours and reach the students, connecting with them psychologically and physiologically. Then perhaps Montessori, you must have heard of them, who started Montessori schools. She beautifully said her theme was, it is the job of the politicians to prevent war, but it is the job of the teachers to establish peace. That's the theme with which she started schools. It's the job of the teachers, politicians to prevent war. But to maintain and establish peace, it is the job of the teacher. When will happen? Okay. When you are a role model, not only inside the class, like your mother, finding that extra. Therefore, I always tell them, whenever a student comes to you at 2:30 after the class is over, don't say, my counter is closed, like a bank clerk. A bank clerk can say, my counter is closed, speed post I don't accept because 3 o'clock it is over. Tomorrow you please come. But when the student comes with psychological expectations to you, find that extra. That is the most difficult job of teaching. It is because after we are human beings. None of us is an angel. Nobody is a Mother Teresa here. Nobody is a Martin Luther King. Nobody is a Gautam Buddha. We have our own human foibles and findings. But enlightened self-interest people should elevate himself. Because the future is going to depend upon you. And that's the reason why when Subramania sir asked me, I said, I will take a class on teachers' role as role models. Okay. I think that seminar organized by National Human Rights Commission, going back to that. Not only that, the greatest violation of human rights of students would take place when you are not updating. It was also resolved to the government that in teaching profession, corruption should be defined, and that when a teacher does not update his knowledge. If a teacher fails to update his knowledge or her knowledge by omission, that must tantamount to corruption. Because to 21st century challenges, you cannot find solutions with the 20th century mindset and the 19th century working groups. If you still have the caveman's mentality, what Michel Foucault calls in the book, The Physics of the Future, I advise you to read it. The Physics of the Future by Michel. The name can be pronounced K-U-K-U or K-U-K-U. Michel Foucault. Okay. Physics of the Future, the shape of things to come. Wherein he makes a prediction that all our smartphones will be thrown into dustbins by 2030. It's a very interesting prediction he makes. And in that year itself, he said SMS will be outdated. Today, SMS is outdated. Accepting people belonging to my generation, nobody goes to SMS. Okay. And he says everything will be done through a contactless. It's already happening in some other countries. Everything will be done through a contact. Difficult to believe, but it's going to happen. And in that, he says, if a person has a caveman's mentality, 1 million BC, whatever will be the advance of technology, it will not be of help. Therefore, he says, especially professors should not have caveman's mentality. Number, they must cope with the emerging changes and update themselves. And here, barring the initiatives or incentives like what you call the ATM score or whatever score that UGC prescribes, okay, and for your movement from one grade to another grade, remember, ultimately speaking, you are answerable to yourself. Agree with me? Maybe that's the reason why even the anti-plagiarism tool is called Turnitin. The anti-plagiarism tool, UGC says 10%, 20%, at least 10, 20, 30. Is it hypofabric discount rate? The tool says turn it in. You turn it inside yourself and ask for yourself whether you have begged, borrowed, or stolen ideas and pretending them as though they are your own. Because you cannot cheat conscience. The most luxury is begging the conscience. That's the reason why it's called thinking. And that's the reason why it says integrity is doing the right thing when nobody is watching. The teacher should understand that. Integrity is doing the right thing when nobody is watching. And Mahatma Gandhi says, coherence between what you think, what you say, and what you do is integrity. Coherence between the above, what you think, what you say, and what you do is integrity. When I said a teacher should be a role model for 24 hours, this is what a student expects of you. Don't worry that you are not done till yesterday. No problem. Never too late till then. Baptize yourself from today. Let there be initiation into a new order. As the Bible says. From degeneration to regeneration, that there be a baptism. Start from today. In an incremental manner. You cannot do everything here. Okay. Small steps. And after some time, an isolated act will become a habit. That we're going to play a monumental role. So, a teacher's job has no working hours. And the most important thing is, when I say teacher should be a role model, a teacher should always teach from the heart and not from the book. A good teacher doesn't stop with the book. For a teacher, text should be only a pretext. You must move beyond that to context. I always tell my constitutional teachers that the text of constitution and the context of constitutionalism should determine as to how you are going to teach constitution. The text of constitution and the context of constitutionalism. Okay. You are here to teach constitutional ethos. You are here to teach constitutional culture. You are here to teach as to how the Indian constitution continues to be young. Because institutions never die, never get aged. Only human beings become aged. In spite of the doubting Thomases like Ivan Jennings, a great constitution, who said Indian constitution will collapse like a pack of cards. And he authored Sri Lankan constitution, which collapsed like a pack of cards in less than 17 years. The Indian constitution has grown from strength to strength. Why? Because friends, remember, you are teaching students in an institution where the shift is from answering to questioning. Shashi Tharoor beautifully says, distinguishing between school education and university education. In school education, you are taught to answer the questions. In 7th class also, you are taught how is the President of India elected. What are his powers? When I was a 7th class student, I remember President of India lives in Rashtrapati Bhavan. Salary is 10,000 rupees in those days. And in the supreme command of whatever that, I was given 10 out of 10. Answering the questions. But Shashi Tharoor says, when you move to university, it is to question the answers. To question the answers. Because answers may reflect your knowledge, but questions will reflect your thinking capacity. Please remember that. Answers may reflect your knowledge, but questions will reflect your thinking capacity. And here we are to enhance the thinking capacity of students to such an extent that Archibald Wheeler, Professor of Physics from Princeton University, a Nobel Prize winner, that I may share my personal experience with you. I went to Princeton University. Princeton University is one university which has the maximum number of Nobel laureates. I went to canteen. I was having my cup of tea. There were 15 to 16 people with Bermudas and other things. I was introduced to 15 of them, all of them were Nobel laureates. Sitting informally in the Bermuda enjoying a cup of coffee. Archibald Wheeler was one among them. He was asked a question. Okay, Professor Wheeler, tell me, why do students exist in the universities? A very interesting question. Why are students there in the universities? He did not ask about faculty. Archibald Wheeler said, it's very simple. To teach professors. Which was the answer given by him. To teach. Then he says, a role model teacher is one who should never impose limits on the unlimited imagination of the student because of his limited imagination. A role model teacher is one who should never impose limits on the unlimited imagination of that little angel because of my limited imagination. You do not know what types of ideas you get. Likewise, you should never impose limits on your unlimited imagination because of the limited imagination of your peer group. There will be a number of attempts that will be made by your peer group to psychologically demotivate you. You must be experiencing that. By your boss, yes. students. Okay, that's what we have said. Even today, Amartya Sen, when he completes a manuscript, before he sends the book for the publication, he circulates it among his students once. And after he gets the nod from the students, he'll send him to the book. So that is role model, he said. Never impose limits. And when you take the class and come back from the class, youngsters, I have come to take a mistake of not doing that. But as I told you in the morning, good judgment comes out of experience, but experience comes out of bad judgment. My bad judgment was that because I had some brilliant ideas used to come from students, I committed the mistake of not noting them down after coming back to the class. Now, every day after coming back from the class, write a resume as to what had happened. There will be one or two brilliant ideas that would come at least once in a year from students, which will enable you to give wings to your imagination. That is the role model teacher. Because all said and done at the fundamental level, teaching is dissemination of knowledge. Research is creation of knowledge. And without creation of knowledge, how can you disseminate it? And the best place for creation of knowledge is by classroom. My opinion, to start with. Not to end with, starting point only. The starting point for the creation of knowledge is a classroom. Okay. And therefore, never violate the sanctity of the classroom, sacrosanct in the classroom, and be a role model, and look at text as only a text, move to the context, okay? And in that context, please remember my oft-quoted statement. Remember, never get bogged down by syllabus, curriculum. These are all prosaic terms. In my younger days, I used to take pride saying that I have taken extra classes on Sundays from 10 to 4 to complete the syllabus. Everyone used to do that. Trimesters, semesters, because you're running against time. And therefore you are required to take extra classes. Then suddenly one day wisdom dawned on me. How much time do you require to teach Mahabharata? Can you teach Mahabharata in lifetime? A holy epic. Can you teach it in lifetime? To understand 2 lines of the Holy Quran, it will take lifetime. The hidden meaning of it will not be long it. Even Lord Ganesh did not understand what Vyasa was dictating. And how can you complete the syllabus? I can complete Mahabharata in 1 sentence. The evil forces were vanquished by virtuous forces with the help of a fellow called Incarnation of Dharma, Lord Krishna. Therefore, the job of a teacher, role model teacher, is to awaken the curiosity of the young mind. And you can awaken the curiosity only when your mission, holy mission, I would say, is not to cover the syllabus, but to uncover the syllabus. Remove the cover of darkness. From ignorance to knowledge. From here to eternity. Bible says co-balance. From here to eternity. From darkness to life. Asatoma. Whatever you may say. Because the student comes to the class. I want to go back from the class wise and not otherwise. You agree? When your school going child goes to school and you go at 3 o'clock to fulfill your parental obligation to pick the child. The first question you ask is, Betty, what is that you have learned today? I think what's it? At least to keep her happy. That means you expect your child to learn every day something new. Something needs to be added. And when the last student goes back from the class, standing outside, if I ask, what is that you have learned today? You should not give it. have the churning side. You have the thirst for knowledge. Then you will enjoy the highest bliss. The bliss which Archimedes enjoyed when he said Eureka. I think some of you know Archimedes. Okay. Why did he say Eureka? He was so excited. Because, remember, pursuit of knowledge always starts with a question mark but ends with an exclamation mark. Got excited. Got delighted. That excitement is spiritual. And for that, two qualities a teacher should have. Number one is, as Parkivala said, what is unsaid in the Constitution is more important than what is said in the Constitution. Don't look at 395 articles. Bullshit. What is left unsaid in the Constitution is more important than what is said in the Constitution. Likewise, a good teacher inspires you. I'm putting from Parkivala. Just read the sentence. A good teacher inspires you to learn more by leaving things unsaid. A good teacher inspires you to learn more by leaving things unsaid. That means the best is left unsaid. This is within quotes. The best is left unsaid. And then Parkivala also makes an exhortation. A good teacher is one who is not interested in income but outcome. A good teacher is one who is not interested in income but outcome. Therefore, remember, money is the fringe benefit of the job you like. And there is no happiness in money. And it is knowledge that gives you peace and content. If knowledge has added ego and arrogance to you, it is not knowledge. It is information. And knowledge is also not the ultimate step. Poet Eliot said, where is the wisdom we have lost in knowledge? And where is the knowledge we have lost in information? So let teachers not become churning machines to add information to them. They know already they are the most informed people. The job of a teacher is to transmit the cosmic energy. Hence, no electronic gadget can substitute the warmth and radiance of a teacher. We, in one sentence, say Google cannot give you all answers. Okay. A teacher with its profound experience inside. Last sentence I will tell you, I think the time is up. 1:55 now. Yeah, oh, it's there. That's good. I'm not yet used to digital units of time. Looking at the 2 hours of clock, I belong to a different generation. And then a teacher is supposed to build a culture of happy dialogue with the students. This is very, very important things. A culture of happy dialogue. Now, Amartya Sen says, if you have read the book, The Argumentative Indian, because our misfortune is that in teaching pedagogy, we use the word Socratic method. Question and answers, all those things. Forgetting that in two of the greatest civilizations, the world in Asia, is India and China. India being undivided India. If you go through the ancient scriptures, you find the dialogue was the only means of education. And it was a happy dialogue between the teacher and the taught. The taught used to sit near the teacher and they used to. And therefore, Amartya Sen says, all Indians are argumentative. Before, teaching became a one-way travel for a long time. And from 1970s and 80s onwards, again, we are starting Socratic method, all sorts of things. Okay. But ultimate thing is the job of a teacher is to build a culture of a dialogue through education. And therefore, remember things, teaching is more than a job. And it needs a lot of empathy and all the good qualities under the sun to make a good teacher. And therefore, be a good role model. Okay, never confine yourself to text. Okay, never try to ignore the student. Why? I'll give you only one example as to how the teacher can transform the life of an individual. In 40 years of your teaching career, if you can produce one jewel, one lotus from the mud, it's enough. Look at the life story of K.R. Narayanan, who became the president of India, the most successful president. And he was a foreign servant, IFS people say, before he became the president. But K.R. Narayanan did not appear for civil service examination to become an IFS officer. Do you know that? No IAS, no IFS. But you may be surprised how he made it. But because of a teacher. K.R. Narayanan went to London School of Economics to pursue his education. And in those days, what we have today in CMR, like assignments, projects, they used to have in London in those days. And K.R. Narayanan studied in London School of Economics, and he was kept under the proctor, a mentor. For him, the proctor was no less a person than the director of London School of Economics, Harold Lasky. And people used to say in those days that the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom used to wait for 3 months to seek an appointment with Harold Lasky. Because Lasky used to give importance to students and scholars and not to politicians. Something beyond our imagination, all those things. So, K.R. Narayanan submitted an assignment. Why I'm telling you, if Lasky was so busy that he could not give appointment to the Prime Minister of the country, would he be having time to go through the weekend assignments written by students? If he is an ordinary mortal, ordinary person like me, I will hand it over to my research scholar and say, please go through it. And give him the time scale, marks. A, B, C. Give him the time. And finish over. The whole thing is gone. Okay? We play it safe. No problem. Because we say we don't have time. Forgetting C.K. Prahalad's fundamental axiom in management, that it's only a busy man who finds time. A teacher, like a mother, should never say, I don't have time. You must be able to organize your time. You read a book on pyramid, a classic book on management, the bottom of the pyramid or something like that. Okay. He says it's only a busy man who finds time. Harold Lasky could find that extra minute to go through the assignment. And immediately after going to the assignment, he took his letterhead. He wrote a letter directly to the Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru. My dear Jawaharlal Nehru, it's still in the museum, you can see that. All these days, I used to adore you, thinking that you were shaping the nascent democracy liberated from a colonial yoke. But today, I'm constrained to change my opinion. You may be wondering what is the reason. The reason is you are allowing a brilliant young man like K.R. Narayanan waste his time in London School of Economics. The quality of his assignment is so high that there is nothing for me to teach him. Let him not waste his time here. I leave it to your wisdom to make use of the service. That letter reaches Jawaharlal Nehru. And Nehru, on the letter says that Narayan be drafted into foreign service. Look at the greatness of the man. But immediately, private secretaries, IAS officers, they come and say, sir, DOPT rules do not allow like this. Then they will say, what should they do? You have to constitute the committees. Typical bureaucrat. Okay, I constitute a committee of 3 IAS officers, including an IFS officer. You come with them. The committee was constituted. And professional jealousy in me. These fellows thought if we recommend the name of Narayanan, he will overtake all of us. And the committee unanimously said Narayanan is not fit to be drafted into office. Jawaharlal Nehru, with a green pen in overruled. The observations of the committee are overruled and let Narayanan be drafted. The senior officers protested. Then Nehru said, your opinion is not binding on me. The rules only say committee should be constituted. I have constituted, you have given the opinion. If you were actually final, why should the file come to me? So with due respect to your opinion, that Narayan be drafted. He was drafted into foreign service. That he became a diplomat. That he became a president. Yeah, but who was responsible for this? Not a lazy teacher like me. Remember, a conscientious teacher. Last thing. Therefore, my observation, my appeal to you is find that extra minute to read at least few sentences. Sometimes you have gold in those sentences. Every year in National Hospital Bengaluru, we get at least 2 to 3 assignments which will be published in journals like International ICLQ and others. The senior old professors of the age group of 75 to 80, up to 90 people talk. Devidas, Pamla, he knows the first generation. If they were to say we didn't have time, we would have. This is what I mean by teacher being a role model. Remember, the entire future depends on you. My appeal to you is don't let down our posterity. That will be your contribution to sustainable development. Don't think about sustainable development and environmental. You clean your own environment. God bless you.
I'm sure I was speaking on behalf of all of us here that your session was not only a profound one, but a fresh one indeed. It was so nice to hear from such an eminent scholar. We thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your time.